Here at Rec Hall, the longtime home of Penn State wrestling, it's a battle of top 15 programs in the country. Number 10 Iowa and 15th ranked Penn State right here, right now on CMB. Hi again, everybody. Jason Knapp. Glad you could join us again for college wrestling on CSTV, joined by three-time All-American and 1988 U.S. Olympian Ken Tsirtsis. Iowa hasn't lost 3 straight dual meets in 38 years. And Ken, it could happen tonight if the Nittany Lions could come through at home. You've been a member of a team that's wrestled Iowa and beaten Iowa. What's it like for some of these Lion wrestlers as they go after beating and trying to beat this behemoth that is Iowa?
Wow, for the Lions and the Hawkeyes, the blood is going to be rushing through their body, lots of adrenaline. The guy who can control their emotions the best in the close matches is the guys who are going to prevail.
A lot of swing matches we're looking at tonight. Could go either way. Let's start at 141 pounds.
141. True freshman Tsirtsis, very explosive versus Penn State's Dewitt Driscoll. Driscoll needs to slow him down and hold him down some to win this match. 157,
a battle of ranked wrestlers in the nation.
Oh, wow. Johnston, aggressive, tenacious, great style of wrestling versus Nathan Calloway. Slick, creates angles, and again, it'll come to the guy who controls the tempo of that match that'll prevail tonight.
184 pounds, already talked about it in the video portion of our open. Bradley versus Bradley, and no secrets there. Those guys like to bang.
Yes, hammer versus hammer, Bradley versus Bradley. Those guys are going to push and shove. It's going to come down to a one takedown match. Whoever wrestles the toughest in the close match and gets that key takedown will emerge victorious.
Iowa going through some growing pains this season. The Hawkeyes dealing with having 7 new starters in their lineup.
Well, I don't think it's been troublesome just because they got all good attitudes, they work hard, but at the same time, you haven't been with them through a year, so you don't know how they respond meet to meet sometimes. So that's been tough, and I think when you have those many new guys, you get in a different environment away from home, you got to see how they respond.
When I was in town, it brings an added excitement and a little bit of anxiety, but we want to step it up in front of our home crowd.
And we are ready to go here at Rec Hall. Joe Bartell will be our referee tonight, and we're going to get set and start things off at 125 pounds. Joe Bartell setting the guys in the middle. Charlie Falck, freshman of Strawberry Point, Iowa. And a quick 2 points for him as he takes on the senior, Adam Smith from Newport, Pennsylvania.
Wow, that was a quick single leg, near arm, far leg, excellent technique. He really stepped up. That sets the tempo for Iowa takedown in the first 10 seconds.
Again, we talked about 7 new additions to the starting lineup for Iowa, and Falck, one of 5 freshmen in the mix. There's a look at his record, 12-7 so far this season. Iowa, of course, landing some top-notch recruits as always. Adam Smith, senior, 16-8, 2-time NCAA qualifier, getting the call here at 125 for the Nittany Lions.
Down pretty quick there. Now he's struggling on bottom. Falk's really setting the tempo here. After that quick takedown, a 40-second ride so far. He's got 40 seconds of riding time built up. If he can hold him down for another 20 seconds and build up a minute, he'll guarantee a point towards the end of the match. That's how it works, Jason. If you could take a guy down and hold him down for that and gain more than a minute advantage during the course of a match, you get an extra point at the end of a match. Very critical in these close matches.
Riding time is something that we'll keep our eye on, and you'll be able to track it as we go along and see all the pertinent scoring information at the top of your screen. Weight, riding time, the score in each individual bout as Smith picks up a point there for the escape, and of course the time remaining in the period. Here in collegiate wrestling, 3 minutes in the first period, 2 minutes each in the second and third periods. And the overtime rules, should we get there, we'll explain them as we go along.
Oh yeah, those will be exciting. I bet you we'll see an overtime or 2 tonight. There's going to be a lot of close matchups tonight. The fans at home are going to see some barn burners.
Falk may be coming out with a little extra venom. Lost to Northwestern's John Velez, a ranked wrestler, 10-8, and that was one that helped decide the match, and Iowa lost its last time out against the Wildcats. That was the first loss for the Hawkeyes to Northwestern since 1968, snapped a 35-match winning streak against the Cats. Iowa had a 19-3 lead in that match, but then Northwestern won the last 5 in a row to take the 22-19 victory. So the Hawkeyes, again, with those back-to-back losses in Big Ten competition, really have something to prove, and they've got to do it tonight on the road here at Penn State.
Yeah, that was a big upset win for Northwestern. They put it together. They have, nice single leg by Falk. He's in again. He's got to keep the leg up. He's got to stay in bounds. That's critical here. He's got to keep him in bounds. He's going to try to trip him down. He's going to jump on him here, and he's got his 2. See how he kept his feet on the edge and makes the match 4-1 with a little under a minute left in the period. But you were talking about the Iowa Northwestern match, Jason. Northwestern really did put it together. They've got some great recruits in there. They're in a growing program. You got to recruit the smart and the tough kids there. It's an extra challenge, and they've done a good job there combining some Ohio and Pennsylvania recruits in their lineup.
And a quick escape there for Smith, and cuts the deficit now to 4-2 as we work our way in the last minute of the first period.
Yeah, Falck has shown two really good leg attacks. Adam Smith was working hard to control a 2-on-1. Smith's got to control him. He needs to grab elbows. He needs to get a 2-on-1. That's his best stuff. Falck wants to wrestle on the open as he has been. Has a nice slide by attempt. That's what that's called. He's trying to clear the arm off his head, shrug it by. Smith wasn't pushing enough, so he caught him. This is a critical time here, Jason. 20 seconds left. You see Falck took a good shot. That's a good strategy. You'll see Iowa will score or try to score a lot on the edge. That's one of their trademarks, and that's critical wrestling, is scoring at the end of periods so you can hold the opponent down at the end of a period so he does not have the opportunity to earn an escape point.
Working our way here, final seconds of the first period.
Yep, there's not going to be a score here. They're both standing around these last 6 seconds. Thought Iowa might go after, but you can tell he's not setting for that shot. So we're going to wrap up the first period.
Now Falck with a 4-2 lead after the first. Here's a look at how points are scored in collegiate wrestling. 2 points for a takedown, 1 point for an escape, 2 points for a reversal. Near fall or back points, you hold those shoulders at a 45-degree angle for 2 seconds, it's worth 2 points. For 5 seconds, it's worth 3 points. And then a pin or a forfeit worth 16 points overall.
And speaking of pinning people, this is a critical stage of the match. Adam Smith is good on top. He just got his best hold. He's got a chicken wing armbar. He needs to drive that forward, try to get the shoulder in the ear, create pressure. Falck is not doing a very good job on bottom. He's a young and experienced wrestler. He's not getting pressure back like he needs to. He's going to be in trouble if he stays there. He's going to get banged for stalling if he doesn't build his base. And I'm telling you, Adam Smith is tenacious with this hold.
And talking to Coach Zaleski during the weekend, he talked about a lot of these freshmen that come in here, they're not used to being on bottom. They don't know necessarily how to get up a lot of times, and that's the predicament that Falck finds himself in right now here in the second period.
You can see this. There's that stalling call I expected because Falck from Iowa is not working to build his base. He's not working to get away. Jim Zaleski, the Iowa coach, is upset. He is on the sideline, stalking the sideline. He wants his athlete to move and build a base, and he's not. This is not looking good for Iowa. Smith is driving. He's almost got back points. He's assured of at least 2 back points. He needs to get a 5 count. He does. He's got 5 count. He might get the fall.
He's getting close, getting in range. Adam Smith looking to put Penn State to a quick early lead. Falck trying to break out. The freshman trying to hang on. Can the senior close the deal? Not yet. Still in position. Got him.
There it was. Big
Adam
pin.
Smith, yes, the experience for the Nittany Lions. Senior beats freshman, and Penn State with an early advantage.
Huge win for the Lions there.
Troy Sunderland talked about coming out of the blocks early at home, especially against Iowa with the Hawkeyes' strength in the middle weights. Penn State gets a dream beginning right now as the Nittany Lions get the pin at 125.
Wow, he's looking to tighten that armbar up. He's got to get pressure with his shoulder, and that's exactly what he did. You can see he gets on his toes, presses him down, settles in, and there's the fall. You see the crowd erupting, thousands of people getting excited. That's a big deal for Penn State. That's momentum.
Certainly is. Pin win for Adam Smith and the Lions out of the block quickly. Bryan Heller will try and follow up at 133 for the Lions. We'll see what shakes out. Coming up here in a moment. Stay with us on CSTV.
Tell you the truth.
I think I always knew, all this time, who you really were.
You and I can never be. If my enemies found out about you, I could never forgive myself.
I know there'll be risks. I want to face them with you.
In case we die.
You do love me.
I do.
Playing this month on DirecTV pay-per-view. The people of the village had a deal. No one ever dared venture into the woods, and they never came into their homes. Now, DirecTV is offering you a deal. On Friday, February 25th, you can watch the premiere of The Village for just 99 cents.
Please close the door!
You won't want to miss this exclusive deal. Order The Village with your remote, only on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Don't let them in.
Back here at Penn State after a super start for the Lions at 125. Bryan Heller hoping to add for it for Penn State. Going out there against Mario Galanakis, junior from Greenfield, Iowa, and Penn State attacking quickly. Bryan Heller tried to get a 2, but no call yet from referee Joe Bartell, waving it off out of bounds and no points awarded.
Great double leg there, driving double, almost took him down, just didn't have enough space.
Heller comes in ranked 19th in the country according to the NWCA rankings. Galanakis 9th.
This is a critical position here, Jason. He's in on a low single. We got a potentially dangerous call because he went from the heel to the toe. You gotta keep the heel. You can't bend the knee like that. Nice aggressiveness. We see a shot from each wrestler in the first 30 seconds. So far, this dual meet, these guys have come to get after it.
Here's a look at the particulars on Galanakis. 9-4 record, transferred in from Ellsworth Community College, 4-time place winner in Iowa high school wrestling, and Coach Zaleski said he saw a lot of potential in this kid. Didn't win a lot in high school, but they thought they could work with him here. But Penn State, Heller working on him right now and picking up the 2 for the takedown.
Yeah, beautiful single leg takedown, followed up with a really very quick finish.
Heller there, small throw, freshman, 19-10 out of Fairhaven, New Jersey, replacing NCAA runner-up Josh Moore from last year. And Moore was such a pin machine and a win machine for Penn State. All those bonus points that he racked up for the Nittany Lions in years past, tough to replace them, but Heller starting to come to his own this year for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, big shoes to fill. Moore lit up Rec Hall and here at Penn State for many years. A lot of exciting pins, a lot of exciting throws, but Heller's doing a good job. He stepped in there as a freshman. He's won over 20 matches. He's doing a good job.
These guys met earlier this year at Midlands. Heller beat Galanakis 5-3, and so far the Penn State wrestler has the advantage again.
Wow, this is a great scramble. Great scramble here.
There you see the numbers, but Galanakis coming back with a 2 to take a 3-2 lead here as we work our way with a minute left in period number 1.
Galanakis looking for cradle here. Heller's got to recover his base and come out of there. They're slowing down here. I thought they would keep scrambling. There, Heller's moving now. He needs to keep working. Yep, Cal college career, step it up to Division I level. Right here, Heller's got a takedown. He just changed off to a double. Referee rewarded the 2 points. This is going to be a critical 25 seconds here. Might be a no stalemate. So Heller's got to work up. Penn State's got to work up. He's got to break him on this important 20 seconds. Let's see if Iowa has any motion on bottom.
Heller hanging in there. Finally picking up the 2 for the takedown, and he'll work into the final seconds here. Galanakis tries to break out. Can't quite do it.
Exciting period. Lots of back and forth scrambling.
So Penn State with a 4-3 advantage. Heller on top as we go to the second. Here's a look at team points. NCAA wrestling, if you win by 7 points or less, it's worth 3 team points. 8-14, it's a major decision worth 4. Tech fall, worth 4 or 5 points, depending upon whether or not you have back points in that tech fall. And the pin win or a forfeit win, worth 6 team points. Again, Penn State getting 6 for that fall by Adam Smith at 125, and the Nittany Lions up 6-0 overall.
Oh, sloppy. Heller from Penn got to move on bottom. This is going to be an important time here. He's got to get his hips moving. He's got to get his arm free, get pressure back.
Gives up the 2 there. Top of the screen is the individual match score, the overall dual score. Penn State leading Iowa 6-0, and we'll track that for you as we proceed throughout this match.
Yeah, big 6-0 score. That strength with team pin. When you pin the guy, 16 points.
Pin right out of the gate. How is that emotional lift when you're on the bench?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it just excites everybody. It excites the athletes. It excites the crowd. Nice Granby move, follow to easy. No second move there. You need to come with a second move. But coming back to the pin, that's a big deal for Penn State. The key will be, can they keep the momentum going? These first 3 matches are very important for Penn State. They're slight favorites in each one, or they're toss-ups. So for Penn State to win the duel, they need to get at least 2 of the first 3, if not all 3.
And that's something that Coach Zaleski had talked about during the week, is with the lack of seniors and leaders essentially in this Iowa roster, there's no stopper in that lineup. When things start going bad, you need somebody to step up there and get a big win, and they haven't had that type of breakthrough yet with a lot of the newcomers that they've got.
No, they haven't. Neither team has a sure thing horse that's consistently winning and setting the gym on fire. Sure, both Bradleys are consistent, but they're both beatable at times, and neither one of them is really just dominating, aggressive, and tenacious. It looks like Galanakis has twisted his knee up a little bit. You see he's got some tape and knee pad there. Be interested to see if he can keep the pace for the rest of the period and a half left.
So Bryan Heller able to get a quick drink and get reset in the bottom position here.
He's not doing a good job. Neither of these athletes have done a very good job on bottom. They're not putting second moves together. They're not getting pressure back. Oh, he's almost got a tilt. He didn't go for it aggressively enough. Anytime you're on bottom, this is important, and Heller's not going to get away these last 7 seconds. It's a pivotal ride out here for Galanakis. You got to put your moves together on bottom. That's the key to getting away, and time and time again we've talked about the inexperience of both teams, and that's what you see as freshmen and redshirt freshmen. So it's hard to get off bottom.
Here's a look at some of the other guys nationally at 133 pounds. Travis Lee, of course, we saw last week here on CSTV. Mark Jane, Matt Chiasuli, some of the other guys ranked in the top 5. Galanakis and Heller there, both in the top 20 nationally at 133 pounds.
Yeah, it's good matchups there. This is going to be a great third period. Iowa's winning by 1 point. Iowa has riding time. They have a 1:14 riding time. So if Penn State is not unable to take them down, he'd get an extra point. Oh, that was a bad shot. You can't let him get him down. Penn State can't be taking the mat. He Granby's. There's a scramble. That was good wrestling by Penn State, but he gave up 2 on the edge. He stopped scrambling.
Yeah, Galanakis staying after it, and getting the 2 to lengthen Iowa's lead. There you see Jim Zaleski in the background, sort of trolling around the mat, pacing, if you will, and certainly some things to pace about with Iowa off to a 1-2 start in the Big Ten. But Zaleski in his 8th season, maintaining this program after Dan Gable, the legendary Iowa coach, stepped down after all of his success.
Bryan Heller from Penn State's gonna have to get moving here. To get in this match, he needs to escape and get a takedown quickly. He's never put 2 moves together on bottom. That was another Granby, but he had his foot tangled. A Granby is when you roll across your shoulders like he did, and you try to clear your hips. And if you don't get away with the first one, you got to come with a second move, and that's neither of these wrestlers have shown many second moves on bottom. You see he's got that wrist control. That's tough, Jason. When a guy gets a hold of your wrist and top and puts his weight on you, it makes it very difficult to move. The key is to clear your arms, get your wrists free, get pressure back. There's a lot of things involved in getting away.
Well, Galanakis here is in position to win the bout. Heller going to try to avoid some precarious positions and not give up any more points and just make this a simple decision victory for Iowa. The Hawkeye wrestler, I think, wants to work a little harder and try to rack up a couple more points here and maybe take us towards major territory.
Yeah, and this is a key win for Iowa. This was a close match. Iowa was, there's kind of a toss-up. Different people would tell you different things as who's the favorite. So, it was a big win for Iowa.
So Galanakis going to hold on. You tack on the point for riding time. It's an 8-4 win for the junior from Greenfield, Iowa, and the Hawkeyes get on the board. Now 6-3 overall in the dual meet. And Galanakis maybe almost wearing Heller down there and doing a good job of closing things out later in the match.
Nice go behind takedown there, and he tripped him to the mat, the scramble on the edge. Notice how Galanakis gets his feet inbounds to secure his 2 points. That was critical tactic right there. You have to keep your feet inbounds to score.
So Iowa is on the board. Penn State, though, with that Penn win at 125, still leads 6-3. Driscoll and Tsirtsis coming up in a moment on CSTV.
To protect you from taste loss, take the taste challenge. Question 1. What should a real light beer look like?
Like beer?
That's right. Miller Lite has a rich golden color. Question 2. What should a real light beer taste like?
Like beer.
Correct. Miller Lite has a satisfying great taste. And finally, how do you fight taste loss?
With antibiotics?
No. Drink a great tasting Miller Lite with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs. Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com.
Thanks.
Miller. Good call.
The Cavalier logs on for the highlights. Sebastian logs on for the news and scores. And Uga logs on for the great gear. Get as inside as they are without roaming the sideline. Log on to collegesports.com, your #1 online source, giving you more college sports action than anyone else. More live college sports with unlimited access to thousands of games with College Sports Pass. Follow the game in real time with Game Tracker. You'll find it at collegesports.com, where the Chief will find you.
Back at Penn State, Dewitt Driscoll, junior from Connellsville, PA, rolling out to take on Alex Tsirtsis, freshman out of Griffin, Indiana. This bout at 141 pounds. Penn State with a pin win at 125. Decision for Iowa at 133. So the Lions lead 6-3 as we enter our third duel, or our third bout of the night.
Wow, that was a nice near arm far leg outside fireman's carry dump by Alex Tsirtsis. That's a lot of verbiage. For you folks at home, that means he grabbed his arm, pulled it hard, got an angle, and scored. A lot of people call it outside fireman's carry. Ironically, Jason, that is Dewitt Driscoll's favorite move, the dump fireman's carry, and Alex Tsirtsis used it on him.
Well, you see the numbers for the Iowa wrestler. 7 losses this year. That's 7 more than he had in his entire high school career. 236-0 in high school, 4-time state champion in Indiana.
Yeah, Alex Tsirtsis is an explosive, athletic wrestler. He's been wrestling throughout his life, come through the youth programs, and just tore it up in Indiana, was untouchable, undefeated, 4-time state champ. Now at Iowa as a true freshman, he's struggled a little bit on bottom, and as you see, he's lost 7 matches. 1 takedown and none, though. He set the tempo. But again, as I said in the opening, Dewitt Driscoll's best chance, like Adam Smith's, was to hold him down and get some riding time and bar him up. Smith hit it big time. He hit the jack points with the arm bar to a pin.
See Driscoll's numbers, 24-11 so far this year. You know, he's battled some injury problems, had an infection at one point in a previous broken arm, had surgery to actually cut some of the infection out, and has battled back from that to be an integral part of this Lion roster.
He has some unique health problems, but he battled through them, and it showed his persistence, and he's back in there. He's one of the leaders of this team, and he will be again next year, probably be one of the captains next year. Again, this is a big matchup. Iowa's super freshman versus one of Penn State's leaders. Both wrestlers got to work the score here. Dewitt Driscoll's going to look for his dump. There's the dump. But Tsirtsis just stopped his best move, Jason. That's critical because he knows it's coming now. He felt it. Dewitt Driscoll didn't quite have the right timing on it.
How much does that mess with your brain as a guy on the mat when you throw your best at him and it just gets shut down that fast?
Every athlete's different. Dewitt, it probably frustrates him a little bit. You know, the great ones are hard-headed and they just go right back to it. They keep believing it. So let's see if Driscoll is able to go back to his dump. That was a sweet low single, a la the famous John Smith, Olympic champion. John Smith, the coach at Oklahoma State, he made that low single famous as a 2-time NCAA champion, a 2-time Olympic champion. Tsirtsis needs to step a foot up and come out the back door to finish this, and that's exactly what he just did. And that's a 2-point takedown, making the score 4-1 in favor of Alex Tsirtsis.
Driscoll finally gave it up. He was holding off as long as he could, but the Iowa wrestler finally putting it away. 4-1 the score here, latter stages of the first.
Oh, big latter stages, last 15 seconds right here. This is where Driscoll's got to score. They have to score at the end of periods, and so far we haven't seen either team do that very well. He's got a side headlock now. it's a tight hold. It's really very tough to escape from. It's a good ride out for the last 10 seconds, and that's exactly what he used it for.
Does ride it out, picked up 41 seconds of riding time so far. See Driscoll adjusting the headgear here and getting ready to start the second period. Chooses to start on the bottom here in the second.
Let's see if Tsirtsis decides to ride him or not. He's trying to throw the leg in. He got the left leg in pretty quick. He's just hanging on, though. I don't think he's going to try to ride him out the whole time. It's a potentially dangerous position right there. Now they're going to get set again. Yeah, I suspect I was going to cut him loose. He didn't look like he was that interested in riding him. Probably float a little bit. He's just kind of killing some time. He's getting a little riding time is what he's doing. He's actually got 55 seconds now, and he's almost got it, and he didn't. Dewitt Driscoll escaped. You know, it kept the riding time from adding up. But Tsirtsis almost has a full minute. He has 59 seconds of riding time.
Driscoll definitely with some work to do here. Picks up the point with the escape, as Ken mentioned. 4-2. You see Driscoll, 8th last year at the Big Tens. A whistle here.
All right, here we go on the feet again. Both guys, the intensity's picking up. They're snapping the head. They're pushing each other. Let's see which athlete will open up and take that aggressive leg attack or dump shot and move each other. Right now, they're clinging very tight, Jason. They got each other in the collar tie. They got each other's necks very tight. It's a physical position. It takes a lot out of you. Tsirtsis right now is a little bit more the aggressor. Not much of a shot there by Driscoll. It'll be interesting to see if Tsirtsis commits again. The 2 times that Tsirtsis has committed, first on a dump and then on a low single, he got his takedowns. And he's explosive. He's a go-getter.
Jason Knapp, Ken Chertow here, and you on CSTV at hallowed Rec Hall here on the campus of Penn State. Nittany Lions trying to hand Iowa what would be a 3rd straight dual loss. Hasn't happened in almost 40 years for the vaunted Hawkeyes program. Nittany Lions off to a pretty good start so far. Penn win at 125. Iowa responding with a victory at 133. 6-3 the overall score of the duel, but Iowa with the advantage here at 141.
Yes, sir. 20 seconds left, second period here. See if either athlete can create a scoring attempt. They're both kind of blocking. I don't see either athlete committing here. And you would think the Penn State wrestler Dewitt Driscoll would go at him here and try to score at the end of the period, but he's not.
Saw he took a quick glance at the clock here, but seconds winding down, and it'll stay 4-2 as we go to the third.
Nice low single by Tsirtsis. See how he got the heel, stepped up. This was earlier in the match. This was his second takedown of the match. It took a while to develop. Dewitt Driscoll should have stalemated him here. And here we go back live. We're looking at the action. Driscoll's hammering on top. This is a critical time here on top. Dewitt Driscoll's good on top. Tsirtsis, this has been his weakness so far in collegiate wrestling, is getting off the bottom. We'll see if Dewitt Driscoll can capitalize.
And the biggest thing for some of these guys getting off bottom is they're just plain not used to being there. When you don't lose in high school, you've probably not spent a lot of time on bottom and working on those things because you're used to being on top, you're used to getting wins, pin wins, and tech falls. So it's a new experience for these guys, and that's one of the things that the Iowa coaching staff has really been trying to hammer home to the Hawkeyes youthful wrestlers this year. Working hard on the bottom.
Yep, they'll need it. And traditionally, Iowa's struggled on bottom. If you could say they have a weakness, which obviously they have a great tradition, they have a few weaknesses, you've got a stalemate there, nothing can happen. Iowa struggles on bottom sometimes, and now with this freshman lineup, what you said, Jason, is correct. You're a super kid coming out of high school, you get to college, you're up against guys a couple, 3 years older. It makes bottoms tough, and you're used to getting away so easy against the local in-state competition, so it's a big challenge. Again, coming back, let's see if Tsirtsis can rise to the challenge. I was talking to Coach Steiner, Iowa's assistant coach, before the match, and he says how explosive Tsirtsis is, and you saw that on his feet, but he hasn't shown us that explosion on bottom here. So far, there's a minute remaining. Dewitt Driscoll's tough on top with the tilt and the armbar. So far, he hasn't got either one going. He's got the crowd into it, though. He just got him warned for stalling because Tsirtsis is laying on bottom and not trying to get away.
The first time, the warning is just that. Second time, there's a stall warning. It'll cost a point. Driscoll needs to get something going here. Riding time shouldn't be a factor. Driscoll with a 4-2 deficit to try to get out of right now.
Hey, this is a big closer here. Dewitt Driscoll's trying to tilt him. He's got the bar arm. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. He's only got 20 seconds. Too little, too late, perhaps. Tsirtsis didn't have to get away. Tsirtsis had 2 takedowns. There's the stall call. It's a 1-point match now.
He can afford to give that up, though.
He could, because he got 2 takedowns earlier in the match.
Hey, hold on a second. Riding time could be a factor here. Driscoll gets it by 1 second, and that'll tie it up and force overtime. So Driscoll picks up a point for the penalty. Tack on riding time. It's 4-4. We're going to overtime. Sudden victory starts us off. 1 minute. If somebody wins in that time frame, scores a point, it's over. Then 2 30-minute periods with alternating positions. One guy on top, the other guy on bottom. Then they'll flip-flop, and we'll keep going after that. 30 seconds in those positions for those wrestlers if we don't have a point in this first minute of sudden victory.
All right, this could be exciting. A little far away. Driscoll's bear hugging him up top, going for the underhooks. It's a little slippery now. It'll be hard for them to hit those firemen's carry dumps. Boy, Jason, that stalling warning was critical. That put riding tires the firemen's again. He's got the firemen's now. He's got to change to a double to finish it. Dewitt Driscoll needs to pick him up and flip him over. Not on that side, though. He needs to get, there's going to be a big scramble here. He's going to have to get his hips up. Alex Tsirtsis almost got to. He's got it.
And he finally finishes it off. Now the Hawkeye wrestler hanging out throughout the match, controlling things. Driscoll with a late flurry, a penalty point and riding time to force overtime. But the Hawkeyes, fantastic freshman, closes the deal.
Fireman's carry, knocks him on his butt, patiently works his way across to a double. Look how he throws his feet over. He's going to get to the other side. Driscoll needed to throw him over to the right shoulder, but Tsirtsis did what he was supposed to. He got across his hips, changed out behind his legs here, and closed the deal for a takedown. That's 3 takedowns to none. Tsirtsis controlled the match. Even though he got held down, you know, Driscoll did what he needed to. He held him down, but he couldn't get any takedowns, Jason.
Well, Iowa evening the match overall at 6 apiece, and Alex joins us now. Alex, congratulations. How frustrating was it to have riding time come into play there down the stretch and go into OT?
But it's part of the sport, so it's no excuse. I shouldn't have been down there like that.
Alex, was your game plan to set the tempo with those quick takedowns right out of the blocks?
Yeah, I mean, that should be the tempo of the whole match, but it kind of slowed me down there in the third, so.
You guys motivated right now, Alex, with the last 2 losses in duels? How motivated is this team coming into this one?
Pretty motivated. I mean, it doesn't count till the end of the season, but, I mean, we're going hard, so no matter who the opponent is.
Well, best of luck. Congratulations. Another victory for Iowa at 141 pounds. And that ties up the dual meet at 6 apiece. We'll pick it up at 149 pounds. Eustice and Decker. Coming up here, NCAA Wrestling on College Sports Television continues.
Welcome to the new League of Superheroes. Welcome to Real Pro Wrestling. Real Pro Wrestling will air on PAX TV Sundays, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, March 27th through May 15th, and on Fox Sportsnet, Wednesdays, 3 Eastern, on TV for 9 weeks straight.
Log on to collegesports.com. Your #1 online source, giving you more college sports action than anyone else. More live college sports with unlimited access to thousands of games with College Sports Pass. Follow the game in real time with Game Tracker. You'll find it at collegesports.com, where the Chief will find you.
Back here at Penn State, all even through 3 matches. 10th ranked Iowa 6, number 15 Penn State 6, and here we go at 149 pounds. Ty Eustice, junior from Blue Earth, Minnesota, currently ranked 5th in the nation, quickly racking up 2 points against Jack Decker, a freshman for Penn State from Roseland, New Jersey. Eustice with the quick deuce, and you'll be able to pick up something on Decker rather quickly. He's wearing a mask in front, has picked up a rash there in the face area, and they're going to let him wrestle with that mask, but obviously, Ken, something that'll definitely be working against him. It's going to be tough to wrestle with that when you're not used to that sort of blockage in the front.
And perhaps a little bit of distraction there. Ty Eustice is a hammer. Any way you shake it, you see his record up there. He's a dominating wrestler. He's looking to place high at the NCAA. He's possible NCAA champion. You know, one of Iowa's leaders.
Certainly is. His brother, a talented wrestler for the Hawkeyes. They were just the 10th set of wrestlers, brothers, to wrestle at the same time in the Iowa lineup when they were in the mix the last couple of years.
Yeah, Iowa has a great tradition of recruiting brothers. Dan Gable started it. He believes, nice, quick, let him up, take him down, 4-1. It's going to be like that. You're going to see, one of Iowa's best against one of Penn State's young ones. But coming back to the brother thing with the Eustice brothers, Dan Gable set the tradition. Iowa goes after brothers. They believe they work hard together. You see the Bannock brothers, the Steiner brothers, the Brands brothers, some of the big names in wrestling that have just pushed each other and been some of the leaders of that program that have created the dynasties that have made Iowa wrestling famous throughout the 80s and 90s.
There you see numbers for Decker, freshman who was thrust into the lineup for Penn State, replacing co-captain James Woodall, who tore his ACL in the championship at Midlands, has had surgery now, is done for the season, but will apply for a 6th hardship year to try to return to the Nittany Lion lineup next season.
Yeah, and that's a good rule. It saves these kids. You have a significant injury and it's legitimate in your senior year, and that's just a heartbreaker. And so hopefully he'll be able to get his 6th year. That's a perfect case early in the season injury where somebody will probably be able to get his 6th year. And Jack Decker's, filled in admirably.
And Penn State will also be doing that with Eric Bradley, one of their top wrestlers, defending Big Ten champ. He'll also be applying for that 6th year of eligibility, and you'll see him on the mat coming up at 184 pounds. You'll also see him in our breakaway at the Fieldhouse segment, a little FaceTime with Eric Bradley, and his tremendous story. His career was almost ended by a back injury. He was able to overcome that and work his way back to the wrestling mat. You'll see him in action later on. You'll see him in our breakaway at the Fieldhouse coming up here a little bit later on CSTV.
Eric Bradley's just a tremendous success story. As you said, the doctors told him time and time again his career was over. He actually quit wrestling and boxed for a year. He became the national NCAA boxing champions, unsanctioned, but it's the sport, and he won it. And then he finally got his back healthy, and now he's back at it. So he's set the tempo. He's one of Penn State's top wrestlers.
And you see Decker trying to work here on the edge. Yep. Eustice experience trying to keep him in play and maybe rack up some more points here. The Iowa wrestler with a 6-3 lead here. Can he get any more before the end of the period?
And he does.
Yes, he does.
4th takedown. He got 4 takedowns in that 3-minute first period. That's an average of a takedown every 45 seconds. He pretty much, in workmanlike fashion, just went at it.
149 pounds is a pretty stacked weight class nationally. Minotti and Esposito, 2 of those favorites at this weight class. Storniolo, also an interesting case. Used to wrestle here at Penn State.
Here you see the takedown that finished the period off. He was on the edge. He kept him in bounds, caught him with 3 seconds left in the period to get that takedown and make the score 8-3 in favor of Eustice from Iowa.
So the Iowa wrestler with the advantage, 8-3, entering period number 2. He will start here on bottom. We talked about his brother departing here as the match is tied up right now at 6. Iowa lost talented guys, including Eustice, NCAA champ Cliff Moore, Tyler Nix, and Ryan Folsis, as over 50% of the dual meet points they earned last year were from those 4 guys alone. So certainly growing pains that the Hawkeyes are going through, and they tack on 2 more here. Eustice with another takedown.
Jimmy Zaleski, the head coach at Iowa, will have a chance to truly prove himself now. He's had some good recruits in there, and we'll see if they can develop over the coming years. What happened there is Ty Eustice picked bottom. Jack Decker's only chance really was to stay on top of him and ride him like a dog, is the expression we use in wrestling when you really put it to somebody and pound him. But Jack Decker was unable to slow him down, and you see Ty Eustice opening up the match. Here, Jason's where we get into bonus points. Right now it's 12-4. So for a regular decision, you get 3-point win for the team. But now he's guaranteed, if he keeps his 8-point lead, a 4-point decision. Now if he can win by technical fall, which is a 15-point decision, he'll get 15 points. Ultimately, the goal is to pin him and get the 16 points. So that's what it comes down to now. Jack Decker has got to survive. He's got to hold his own. That's his battle the next 3 minutes. Meanwhile, Ty Eustice is going to try to pound him, tire him out, wear him down, and run up the score and or pin him.
Eustice is racking up points at will. Another 2 right there, stretching his lead.
You see a lot of go-behinds. Jack Decker's taking poor shots. He's frustrated. He's tired. Perhaps the face mask is affecting him. He's worn. Okay, there's the quick. He's released him now. He's going to go get him. Look for Eustice to really open up and get tenacious here. He knows he's got him worn down. He's up by 8 points. He's got to get a takedown. He's got to look for back points. I don't think he's going to be able to tech fall him. I mean, he hasn't showed any back point potential yet. He's going to have to. He's going to have to get him. He's going to have to get a tight bar or something to pin him.
A stall warning right there against the Penn State wrestler.
I might eat my words. Who knows if he can, what we call in wrestling, break his opponent. It's not a physical break, but a mental break. You know, to give up, he'd have to get 5 or 6 takedowns here in the last period, which is a lofty task. He got 3 in the first period. He may tire him down and break him and get the technical fall. We'll see.
16-6 the score. Don't forget, coming up momentarily, our breakaway at the Field House. After the match at 157 pounds, we will profile Penn State's Eric Bradley, a tremendous comeback story. Right now, Penn State would need a miraculous comeback story here at 149 pounds. Eustice still laying it on Jack Decker of the Nittany Lions. 18-7 the advantage now, and he's got riding time already locked up as well.
And a single leg. He's got to pull it in and finish on the edge. They're going to go out of bounds here. It's going to be tight here. This is going to be an exciting minute and a half, Jason, because Ty Eustice is going to be going, if you will, berserk. He's going to be going after him, moving and pushing him, attacking. Jack Decker is going to be fighting for survival.
This is the game inside the game, if you will. Iowa looks to have the bout locked up, but those bonus points so crucial at dual meet competitions. At Eustice tacking on 2 more, 20-7 right now.
Yeah, that's beautiful snap down. That makes it a 13-point spread with riding time also. Eustice is floating. He's not going to look for the pin. He's going to cut him loose. Go after him again. Right now it's a 12-point spread. So another. He needs 2 more to tech fall more, 1 and a ride out. At some point here, Ty Eustice needs to look for the pin. The great wrestlers have to be able to pin people. They have to be able to dominate the people from top. And again, you know, I mentioned earlier, Iowa struggles on bottom sometimes. Sometimes they're not as dominating on top. They're really good on their feet. They're hammers, they're physical, they win a lot of matches, but they don't often have a lot of pinners.
Eustice cutting loose Decker there in an attempt to go after another takedown here in the final 33 seconds or so.
And this will close the deal right here. 22-9. He finishes this leg attack and gets to a double. He's got to get his feet across or split the legs. He's done both. It's over. It's 15-point technical fall.
And he might be able to finish off with a pin, as you talked about, Ken. Working in there, but Decker able to deny things. 2 back points. There the call, and that'll be it.
Head coach Troy Sunderland's coming over the table. He's arguing the situation. Myra Tick was right, which I believe it was, according to the scoreboard. It would have been a tech fall before he took him to his back. I'm not sure why they let him take him towards his back.
But they're talking about it right now. 2 coaches working their way over with the referee and the officials, trying to discuss things and get things set up. Either way, it's going to be an Iowa victory, as Eustice puts on a takedown clinic and picking up the victory at 149 pounds. Working his way, getting things done, and Iowa picking up the victory and the tech fall.
Nice takedown there. He got the leg attack, closed the deal. I believe the situation that occurred there, you know, to get an extra point for the tech fall, you got to have a set of back points, Jason.
Iowa getting the win from Eustice at 149 and picking up the win. 10-6 our score in favor of Iowa. Johnston and Calloway, one of the feature matches, up next.
To protect you from taste loss, take the taste challenge. Question 1. What should a real light beer look like?
Like beer?
That's right. Miller Lite has a rich golden color. Question 2. What should a real light beer taste like?
Like beer.
Correct. Miller Lite has a satisfying great taste. And finally, how do you fight taste loss?
With antibiotics?
No. Drink a great tasting Miller Lite with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs. Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com.
Thanks.
Miller. Good call.
We are the men and women of the United States Army Reserve. We are regular people who share our time serving our country and our communities. Our training makes us stronger as soldiers and as citizens who stand ready.
To find out how you can serve your country in the Army Reserve, call 1-888-624-ARMY for this free DVD and get a free sports watch. Stand ready in the Army Reserve.
Strike up the band here at Rec Hall in Happy Valley. The fans were happy at the start with a quick win from Adam Smith, but Iowa with 3 straight victories to take a 10-6 lead. There's a look at Nate Calloway, ranked 18th in the nation at 157 pounds, set to do battle with Joe Johnston, number 8 in the nation. 2 years ago, he was 5th in the Big Ten, 4th in the conference championships last year, and Ken, this is one we've been looking forward to all night.
Oh yes, 2 of the team's best wrestlers, Nathan Calloway versus Joe Johnston. Conflict of styles. Johnston's a straight-on guy. Calloway usually likes to create the angle. You'll see his one control tie will be the right underhook. That's what he likes too. But as the match goes on, I'd look for him to create more angles and scrambles if he's going to have a chance to beat Joe Johnston.
And one scoring scenario to clean up. Last bout at 149, the back points were taken off the board, so Decker loses to Eustice by just a major decision. So only 4 points overall, 10-6 Iowa leading right now, and Penn State trying to work on the edge.
Big time here. He's got to pull that ankle in. He's got to jerk that foot in. He's got to get some pressure back. The new rule allows him to get his knee out. You see his knee's out of bounds, but he's still got 1 foot in. They're going to give him time here. I'd give him 2 right there. He's got 2. His 1 foot still in. The new rule should be 2 points right there. And they're going to give it to him finally.
Able to get it done. Joe Bartel really looking for that total control, and he finally got it there in the last seconds.
Indeed. Be interested to see here if Nathan Calloway tries to ride him some. If I was coaching him, I would tell him to keep him down here and wear him down. I don't know if he will, though. He's hanging a little bit. He's looking for a cradle. He's trying to slap the far side cradle. Probably might look at potentially there's no foot's on the mat. A little banana splits, actually. He's trying to split his legs apart, but really he's just hanging. Oh, he might get a scramble here. Could be a crazy scramble. This is a very unusual position. Reversal. Yep. He got sloppy and he let up a reversal.
Able to get out, and Johnston picks up 2 to tie it up at 2. You see Calloway here performing in front of his hometown crowd here at State College. Johnston out of Prairie Village, Kansas. 27-11 last year, 16-4 this season. Again, 8th in the nation. One of these guys that really has taken the realm as leader of the Iowa program right now.
Assistant coach Mike DeRoe is asking him to hold him down. They know Nathan Calloway struggles on bottom some. And Nathan Calloway is very athletic. He needs to move and create some scrambles on bottom here. This will be an important 10 seconds to see if Nathan Calloway gets his hips moving.
Working here, first period, Calloway trying to get up. Johnston in a power position right now. And cuts him loose. Giving up the escape to work from the neutral position. And attacking right away, Johnston. Finishing off the takedown and retaking the lead. And Johnston lost to Alex Tirapelli 7-5 in a dual meet earlier this season. The Hawkeyes losing to Illinois 25-7. And that was one of the matches that could have gone either way in that bout against the second-ranked team of the nation. 6 of the 8 matches against Illinois were decided by 3 points or less, and that's one of the things that the Hawkeyes need to do, Ken, is win some of these closer matches.
Yes, sir, that was a barn burner right there, Illinois versus Iowa, and that's a classic matchup, too. Mark Johnson, the head coach of the University of Illinois, used to be the assistant coach at Iowa under Dan Gable. Anytime anybody beats Iowa, it's a big deal in our sport, and that was at the University of Illinois. They had the place packed. It was exciting.
Working there, scramble situation. Johnston still on top. While you're talking about Coach Gable, should give a shout out to him recovering from a round of hip surgery in the past couple of weeks. Certainly hope that he's up and around. There's one of his former assistants, Jim Zaleski, now in control of this program. And 157, Ken, this nationally is loaded.
Toughest weight in the nation.
Gentry, Tirapelli, Percival, Bertine, Johnston and Calloway, both of those guys find themselves in the top 20, but that is going to be a war at St. Louis at the NCAA's 157.
It sure will be. And Joe Johnston, Nathan Calloway, they're both superstars in high school. They're typically going to be All-Americans, but he happens to be there at a very deep weight. It'll be interesting to see if both these guys can peak at the end and become All-Americans. I think both of them will be, actually. They'll climb the rankings as the year goes on, and this is a big match for both of them. We have a 4-4 match. You know, Galloway's got that nice early takedown and a couple escapes versus Johnston's couple of takedowns. We got a great match here, Jason.
This is a crucial one for the Nittany Lions as Galloway gets a whistle there, and they'll restart things.
Joe Johnston is a goer. I like his style. He's in your face. He's snapping. There's a nice single leg. That's the classic takedown. There's Galloway from Penn State's in the scramble there. He's trying to prevent the takedown. Joe Johnston from Iowa's got to get his leg free and get behind. This is a scramble position here. Galloway's hanging on. If Galloway can prevent the score here and get a stalemate, it'll be a good accomplishment for him because Joe Johnston from Iowa was in on a great single, but he finished right there. He won the scramble. That was a big scramble right there.
Johnston closes the deal in that situation, takes a 6-4 lead, and again, for Penn State, this is an important match. Came out like gangbusters with that pin win by Adam Smith at 125, and then Iowa has responded with wins at 133, 141, and 149. You saw Troy Sunderland and his staff trying to figure out a way they can give some advice to help Nick Galloway right now as he picks up a point for the escape. But you talked about it, Ken. Johnston really likes to get after it, so this has got to be a good position for him.
Yeah, he's a go-getter. He's got a nice single to that right leg. You know, Galloway's got to get his own offense going. The one time Galloway attacked, he got a score. But right now, Joe Johnston's controlling the tempo. He's controlling the ties. Like Iowa wrestlers, he will try to score here in the closing periods. Let's see if he can do anything here. Don't look for Galloway to do much. Johnston did. I called. Johnston got after it right to the back. Oh, critical error for Nathan Galloway from Penn State. He relaxed at the end of the period, gave up a leg attack and back points.
Not only giving up the takedown, but back points as well, and 3 of them to boot. So it's a 5-point move there, late stages of the period for Joe Johnston, and that lengthens his lead.
Here's the replay of that power double. Galloway got caught on his heels, driven to his back. I told you the Iowa wrestlers like to score at the end of matches. At the end of periods, end of matches, and Johnston's just still going. Oh, the foot sweep. He tried to kick at his leg. It's 11-5 now. This puts it potentially a major decision, which would be a big swing. See how a takedown and back point just turns the match around. Now Galloway's got to fight for survival. He's got to get a takedown to keep from getting majored.
Galloway going in there, and Johnston able to counter quickly and add 2 more to the pile. You know, Jim Zaleski had talked about some of the Iowa wrestlers not coming out of the gate quickly in the first period. That is the exact opposite of what we've seen tonight. All the Hawkeyes have come out and really got after it in the opening period.
They sure have. They've come to wrestle, especially their lightweights. I mean, Falck got right after with a takedown in the first 15 seconds at 125. Then Tsirtsis at 141 came out with a nice fireman's carry dump in the first period quickly. Yeah, they're motivated. Oh, that's that single. That's the best takedown in wrestling right there. The head inside single. He's got Galloway mentally frustrated here.
You know it's coming and you can't stop it. Boy, Johnston again. Takedown clinic right now.
I like his style. Here comes that double leg. Boy, they know it's coming, but they can't stop. He's got a little wrist control. He shoots in on a single leg, gets the angle, hits the corner, finishes easily. Doubles and singles. Basic wrestling can win championships, especially when you wear your opponent down. You notice the first period, Johnston couldn't dominate, but he's worn Galloway out now.
Yeah, he is certainly working him right now. Galloway, though, with a nice counter. He can't really turn it into anything.
Yeah, it's going to be too little too late there. And now Galloway's just hanging on. He's got the arm trap. It's a good counter. He might end up getting the takedown here. It's a sweet little counter he did right there. It's a good counter when Johnston
does pick up the 2, you're right.
When Johnston split the middle on the single leg, Nathan Galloway from Penn State locked around the body, and he locked around the arm, and then he won the scramble. That's a unique counter. It's a good one.
And right now,
he quit. Nathan Galloway can't quit here. And ref call it. He relaxed. He's on his back again. Oh my! This would be horrendous for Penn State if Nathan Galloway broke and got pinned here.
A devastating position for the Lions. The Hawkeyes with a chance to really put a vice grip on this match at the midway point. If it can get the pin win, you can see Galloway straining to stay off his back, and time is of the essence right now.
10 seconds, Jason. He's going to get out of it, I think. He's going to stay up. He's got to keep his shoulder up for a short time longer. He's not quitting.
See him valiantly trying to stay off. Johnston can't close the deal, but he does pick up more back points there. Tack on a point for riding time. Not going to be enough for a tech fall. Will be a major decision. So Calloway avoids getting pinned, but Iowa still with its 4th bout win in a row.
Yeah, he almost pinned him here. Joe Johnston from Iowa needed to tighten it up to get the fall, but Nathan Calloway did a good job of slipping out of there and avoiding the pin. So Iowa wins by major decision. They get 14 points. That brings the score to 14-6 in favor of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
And Joe Johnston is joining us right now. Hey, Joe, Coach had talked to me during the week about you guys being more aggressive early on. You certainly showed that. What can you try to do to come out in this match and really set a tempo?
Well, you know, the big thing for me, I think, is getting my hands moving, my feet moving, just getting going hard pace. And, you know, I tend to be pretty offensive. I just got to get my body going. So once my body catches up with my mind, then I get going.
Joe, as the match wore on, you picked up the intensity. Did you feel your opponent getting tired while you're out there? And what were you doing to make him tired?
Yeah, that's something that our coaches preach to us. You got to not only know what's going on with you, but you got to know what's going on with your opponent. You look over at the guy, and he's breathing hard. You know, that's stuff that you can build on for yourself, and you get more excited as the match goes on. Keep building your lead. Just, you know, do what you're supposed to do.
Joe Johnston, congratulations, Joe. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
The winner at 157. 4th straight win in this dual meet for Iowa, and the Hawkeyes taking a 14-6 lead on the Nittany Lions. Stay with us, more great wrestling coming up, but first a breakaway at the Fieldhouse in New York. More wrestling ahead on CSTV.
This month, DirecTV Preview and Music Choice presents Grammy nominee Jamie Cullum. We'll take you to England's spectacular Blenheim Palace to listen to Jamie's hit single, All at Sea. Look for Jamie's latest work, 20-something, and catch him free every weekend this month on Channel 124. Get ready for action. Order with your remote only on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Taking a quick break in our match between Penn State and Iowa. Adam Zucker here at the CSTV Fieldhouse in New York. Back to our match shortly. Wrestlers, more than most athletes, are obsessive about their training. That was definitely the case for Penn State's Eric Bradley, who we'll see coming up in our match. Bradley was told he'd never wrestle again because of how badly he wanted to win. But as you're about to find out, he's a fighter.
I was the middle child between like two brothers, and I guess just like growing up, we were always wrestling. In 7th grade, I started taking wrestling like real seriously and became a much bigger part of my life.
He came to our camp and really worked hard. We felt like he was somebody that would really fit in well with our program.
Ultimately, the atmosphere at Penn State, I thought it would be like the best environment for me to like reach my athletic and academic goals.
He started training, and Eric was kind of an individual that he would get 3 or 4 workouts in a day, and we couldn't get him to rest, basically. If you would read something about somebody who was an Olympian or a world team member or world champ, he would do whatever their training was, whatever their diet was, whatever they did, he would do that. And they tried to emulate all those superstars of wrestling.
At nighttime, everyone was going out, and like I would like sneak into the wrestling room and start working out, trying to make ground.
When he first came to me, I'll never forget, we're standing over in the wrestling room, and he said, "Coach, my back's bothering me." I said, "Eric, you need to take some time. You need to rest your body." Well, he wouldn't listen.
Eric had fractured 2 vertebrae in his back. His constant workouts rendered the injury chronic, and doctors forbade him from wrestling.
That was about as devastating as I've gotten so far in my life. And my head just sank, and I didn't know what to do. I was kind of debating, like, leaving Penn State. All along this place had been, like, you know, where I was going to work towards my national championship. And then when that was, like, you know, taken away, like, I just really didn't want to be here anymore.
All the things in his life he did to become a better wrestler. You know, you ask him about hobbies. Well, I lifted, or I ran, that type of thing. Well, what did you do outside of that? Well, nothing.
A sports psychologist suggested that Eric focus on a new goal. Eric discovered he had a passion for boxing.
The doctors told me that I couldn't wrestle because the movements that we go through in wrestling, especially like the arc in the back, was going to keep aggravating and could possibly injure me to the point where I couldn't walk anymore. But then when I asked him about boxing, he said it was, since it was like not so much like arching backwards and everything like that, he thought that it would be all right, so he cleared me to give it a try.
Eric started winning matches, and in 2003, he advanced to the national championship.
The 2003 national champion, Eric Bradley.
It felt really good. I felt like, you know, I was accomplishing things again. It was like my 3rd year here, and I really hadn't felt like I had done a whole lot. To be able to go out there and finally bring home a belt felt really good.
Good things were happening for Eric, and they kept getting better.
After winning the boxing championship, I went back to the doctors and they redid the bone scans, and it turned out that they didn't think that the calcium would deposit back into the fractures and strengthen up again. But it turned out that it did, and my bones were strong again, so they'd reinstate me to wrestle again. So at that point, I was very excited. I was like, things are kind of looking on, you know, bad luck's kind of turning around.
We reversed all the NCAA forms and paperwork that we had to do, and he was cleared to practice and compete again, and you know, he comes back last year and wins the Big Ten title.
Doctors say there's a 10% chance that Eric will re-injure his back, and those are odds he's willing to take. Eric gave up boxing and is now focusing full-time on wrestling.
This season, I'm looking to win a national title, and pretty much nothing less than that. I wouldn't really be happy with anything less than that. It's kind of what I trained for and what I'm here for.
And we'll see Bradley in our match shortly. After wrestling, there's much more to see today on CSTV as we take you all over the college country. Women's basketball on the way at 4 Eastern, a Mountain West battle for first place as Colorado State and New Mexico meet for the first time this season. Catch that live at 4 Eastern, and of course coverage starts with the All-State College Basketball pregame show at 3:45. And a unique hockey game tonight at 7 Eastern. It's the U.S. Military Academy against the Royal Military College of Canada, a rivalry that goes back to the 1920s, coming up at 7 Eastern. That'll do it from here in the Fieldhouse. I'm Adam Zucker. Up next, back to Happy Valley for the rest of our wrestling match between Penn State and Iowa on CSTV.
Welcome to the new League of Superheroes. Welcome to Real Pro Wrestling. Real Pro Wrestling will air on PAX TV Sundays, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, March 27th through May 15th, and on Fox Sportsnet, Wednesdays, 3 Eastern, on TV for 9 weeks straight.
What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and everything nice. That's what little girls are made of.
College Sports TV brings you more women's sports than any other network and has teamed up with the Women's Sports Foundation to support opportunities for new sport programs for young women across the country. Log on to collegesports.com and click on I Support Women's Sports to make your donation.
That's what little girls are made of.
I want to tell you the truth.
I think I always knew, all this time, who you really were.
You and I can never be. If my enemies found out about you, I could never forgive myself.
I know there'll be risks. I want to face them with you.
In case we die.
You do love me.
I
do. Playing this month on DirecTV pay-per-view. The people of the village had a deal. No one ever dared venture into the woods, and they never came into their homes. Now, DirecTV is offering you a deal. On Friday, February 25th, you can watch the premiere of The Village for just 99 cents.
Please close the door!
You won't want to miss this exclusive deal. Order The Village with your remote, only on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Back here at Penn State, Iowa, 4 straight wins, including an overtime at 141.
And you saw the fireman's carry dump right there, and Alex Tsirtsis from Iowa is closing the deal in a sudden death overtime in a big swing match here. He got the takedown against Penn State's Dewitt Driscoll.
Certainly gave the Hawkeyes momentum, and they have carried it on with major decision victories at 149 and 157. That leaves us where we are right now. Iowa leading Penn State 14-6. These battle of top 15 teams in the nation and Big Ten powerhouses. We go to 165. Mark Perry of Iowa, ranked 4th in the nation, taking on Jarrad Turner, senior out of Hudson, Ohio.
Now, Mark Perry is explosive and aggressive. Low leg attacks, high crotches. He's a go-getter. And look for as the match wears on, he'll open up even more. There's the bear hug. He's double leg to a bear hug. That was great technique. He may get back points out of it, and he does. You see the referee counting there. Can't tell if he did not hold him. He couldn't hold him for 5 seconds. He was unable to, so he only got 2 back points. If he would have held him 1 more second, he would have got an extra back point.
Now you see Mark Perry, and for a lot of people, it's strange to see his name with Hawkeye colors because, of course, his father and his uncles linked to the Oklahoma State program. His Uncle John is John Smith, the head coach in Stillwater. Really just didn't necessarily want to go there. Maybe a little bit too much pressure to be there on his home mat. But instead, coming out and taking on Penn State in this bout, and Perry has found a home with Iowa and has certainly got the credentials to show for it. Turner for Penn State, been a guy that's seen time at different weight classes, right now thrust into the lineup at 165.
Yeah, he's in over his head right here. As you said, Mark Perry, there's the nice leg to a far side cradle. He's good at this hold. This could be a potential fall, Jason. He's got to get his body out of the way to get the shoulders down. He wasn't able to do it, but boy, he's a go-getter. As you were saying, Mark Perry's got Oklahoma State roots. He grew up there in Stillwater, Oklahoma, until his freshman year. Then he went away to Blair Academy. Got groomed at Blair Academy. Was a national prep champion 2 times. He's an outstanding wrestler. He had a dominating career. And then when he came to college decision, you're right. He had to decide between staying home with all the pressure of home or try something different. And he chose to go make a name for himself at the University of Iowa, despite his uncle John Smith being the head coach there at Oklahoma State University.
Certainly a tough decision. You want to respect that honor, and he's a guy growing up that went to all the dual meets and hung out there and enjoyed all that. But again, trying to maybe chart his own course, and he certainly found that here at Iowa and is off to a great start right now against Jarrad Turner. 7-0 and working for more back points right here in the first period.
Yeah, Mark Perry's a complete wrestler. Not only is he good on his feet with low leg attacks and high crotches, but he's also tough on top with legs and cradles, and there's the fall. He just whipped him right over. He dominated. And that's big points for Iowa. Not unexpected, though. We knew there was a little bit of a mismatch here, and Mark Perry went after him.
Now, Mark Perry coming out, establishing control early on, and much to Jim Zaleski's delight, closing it out with a fall.
Yep, here's the full hold, combination of the leg hold with the leg in and the neck hold. And I'm surprised he was able to pin him there. He got him over it. A little bit of a bow and arrow. He pushed Turner's shoulder to the mat, got some pressure. I didn't think that Penn State's Turner fought as hard as he needed to do. He kind of got trapped there. You could see Perry getting the pressure on him and getting the fall, getting his shoulder blades down.
Well, this Rec Hall crowd that was energized after that opening pin win for Adam Smith at 125 has now watched Iowa reel off 5 straight wins. Can Yonushonis end the Hawkeye run? Find out in a moment on CSTV.
To protect you from taste loss, take the taste challenge. Question 1. What should a real light beer look like?
Like beer?
That's right. Miller Lite has a rich golden color. Question 2. What should a real light beer taste like?
Like beer.
Correct. Miller Lite has a satisfying great taste. And finally, how do you fight taste loss?
With antibiotics?
No. Drink a great tasting Miller Lite with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs. Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com.
Thanks.
Miller. Good call.
We are the men and women of the United States Army Reserve. We are regular people who share our time serving our country and our communities. Our training makes us stronger as soldiers and as citizens who stand ready.
To find out how you can serve your country in the Army Reserve, call 1-888-624-ARMY for this free DVD and get a free sports watch. Stand ready in the Army Reserve.
Tonight at 7 Eastern, CSTV continues the only national hockey coverage in the nation as the Royal Military College of Canada takes on Army. The annual rivalry academies started back in 1923 with each year's winner claiming the Challenge Trophy, which currently belongs to Army. Royal Military College versus Army tonight on CSTV Hockey. Iowa leading 20-6 while we're talking about the 20s here at Rec Hall. Been around for 70-some years, hosted the third NCAA Wrestling Championship back in 1928 was the first one. Penn State hosting one in 1930. Rec Hall's been the home of the Lion program, and Nittany Lions need the home crowd to get back in it. James Yonushonis will try and lead the way here at 174 against Luke Lofthouse of Iowa.
Yep, you're speaking of the rich tradition of Penn State. It sure is exciting here, and Rec Hall's got a lot of mystique, and the fans are into it. If Penn State's going to win this dual meet, they're going to have to get a win here at this match. This is a big match to get Penn State back in the hunt.
See the information of Lofthouse out of Utah, another one of those freshmen put into this Hawkeye lineup. Coach Zaleski talking about the effort is there if the wins haven't been. For Penn State, Yonushonis, maybe a guy you could say a similar thing for. The record may not be there, but the effort and the work is, and he's a guy that just needs to get some of those close wins like Lofthouse to sort of get him over the hump.
Yep, these guys are both young go-getters, and you're right, they need some big wins to get some confidence, get over the hump. Should be a close match here. Both wrestlers are above average, solid contenders, potential NCAA qualifiers, but both have a lot of work to do.
Yonushonis wrestled with a torn ACL second half of last year, including the postseason, that had some surgery to clean things up. And still, once you got one of those knee injuries, tough to maybe sort of trust it as you work your way back to full strength.
Yeah, it's tricky, and each athlete is different, each knee injury is different, but you got to be patient and be consistent.
There you see the numbers, despite that knee injury, giving his all for the Lions and picking up an 8th place to the Big Tens.
Yeah, it was a great accomplishment for James Yonushonis last year to come back from that injury and get through the year and to place in the Big Tens there.
Lofthouse out of Utah, see a 3-time state wrestler of the year, unbeaten in his junior and sophomore seasons in the state of Utah.
Yeah, he made a big name for himself in Utah. We all know the name Cale Sanderson, Olympic champion from Iowa State University. Well, Lofthouse was a dominating figure in Utah in recent years at high school level.
Well, unlike some of the other bouts we've had so far, where there's been a flurry of scoring in the first period, so far, nothing, zip between these guys in the opening 3 minutes.
But it hasn't been for lack of action. Both wrestlers have taken some nice shots, some good counters. They're getting after his nice foot sweep attempts, trying to pull him down the mat. James Yonushonis here needs to pull him down the mat. He was unable to do it. Lofthouse cleared out well. You can look for both these guys to keep wrestling the whole match. Neither one of these guys is going to wear down and stop. They're both go-getters. They both win a lot of matches in the third period. So we should see continuous action throughout the...
Faking a shot there. Working on the edge.
10 seconds left here. Let's see if either athlete tries to get a quick score on the edge. Doesn't look like it right now. They're both kind of pushing, fighting for position, using underhooks. Underhooks are when you go underneath the arm and push and try to get closer to your opponent for control. Some good hand fighting, some good battling, but no scoring attacks.
The scoreless here. Lofthouse choosing to start the second period on the bottom.
All right, again, one of Iowa's young guys that has struggled on bottom so far this year. James Yonushonis, above average, tough on top. We'll see what happens here. We'll see if he can hold him down and get some back points, or we'll see if Luke Lofthouse is able to move and explode.
Talked about these guys being above average on top or on bottom. Both of them above average in the classroom. Yonushonis, academic, all Big Ten. And Lofthouse, pre-med major at a 4.0 in high schools. These guys and a lot of these wrestlers committed to doing the things they need to do in the wrestling room and also committed in the classroom. Point on the escape for Lofthouse.
Yeah, wrestling kids, they develop a good work ethic. That was a nice slide by. He slid the arm by. He's almost got the takedown. When he got his hands to the mat, that was critical. That's called a slide by technique, where you slide the arm by to clear the collar tie.
They worked their way out of bounds, so the points picked up there by Yonushonis, giving him a 2-1 lead.
Here's the good scramble on the edge, the slide by, and then he did a good job of getting behind him to finish. Watch how he gets his hands to the mat, and that's the 2 points. Yonushonis back on top, hammering. Jason, you were talking about both these guys being serious scholar athletes. You know, there's not a livelihood in wrestling typically. You need to get out through life. It's not like these football players where they're looking for the NFL. These guys are trying to be complete people and get a good education, and wrestling teaches you so much about how to work hard, how to set goals, discipline. It's such a key ingredient in our sport that carries over in everything else you do. Wrestling's training for the rest of your life, and there was a great single leg. Again, the #1 takedown wrestling. Head inside single leg, you get below the knee, you get an angle, you get it up in the ear, which he's doing. Taking his time, trips him down for 2.
That was textbook right there. Set that up perfectly, got it in position, and most importantly, executed and finishes the shot.
Yeah, smart wrestler.
Yonushonis 4 to the advantage here, under 30 seconds to go in the second, and this is almost a must-have for Penn State right now in this dual meet, trailing 20-6 overall.
Indeed it is. A pin would be nice too. James Yonushonis does have a good arm bar. He's trying to get the reinforced arm bar. He's not going to have time to get it. The arm bar is when you go over the arm and put your fist in the middle of the back, and you try to drive it. Some people call it a chicken wing. We saw it earlier in the match when Adam Smith started the match off with a pin at 125 for Penn State.
Working their way through 2 periods. Hey, the Nittany Lion liking that. And so is the fans here at the stands at Rec Hall as Penn State leads.
Here's a replay of that head inside single leg. He gets it up in the ear, steps behind and tries to trip him. Continuing to get the angle, staying below the knee. It's a very important position. Young wrestlers at home, you need to learn to finish this technique. And James Yonushonis did a great job right here at getting the leg up and getting him down.
He gets out and gets the escape, increases his lead to 5-2. Riding time in favor of the Nittany Lion wrestler, and headgear of flying, we've got a whistle.
You know, we were talking about James being a scholar athlete. He's actually a local wrestler. He grew up in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, about 30 miles from Penn State. Penn State's done a good job of keeping their dedicated kids close to home. A lot of young wrestlers on the team are from the area. The head coaches, Dave Hart and Troy Sunderland, Dave being the assistant, Troy being the head coach, are from this area. And Pennsylvania's the top high school wrestling state in the country. It's pretty much consensus, and if they could keep their best guys at home, they'd have a dominating team annually.
Well, certainly Iowa has done a good job of mining the talent in Iowa over the years, and that certainly continues. A lot of in-state natives on the roster right now. The work from Yonushonis. Can he finish another takedown? Yes, he does.
That was just great technique. He shoved the elbow on one side and attacked the single leg on the other. And when you can do that and go from faking one side and attacking the other, it really throws your opponent off, and that's critical, especially when you're not explosive. James Yonushonis isn't the most explosive guy out there, so he has to have really good setups.
Well, you see Yonushonis cutting Lofthouse loose and obviously thinking in terms of bonus points right now, trying to get some more takedowns, pile on the points, and work it to at least a major decision.
You know, if I was James Yonushonis, I would have held him down there and gone for the armbar and tried to turn him. James doesn't have enough offense to get a major decision. He would need a lot of takedowns or quick back points. He would have been better off keeping the Iowa wrestler down and trying to turn him.
You hear the chant from the Penn State bench, keep scoring, as they encourage the sophomore to keep working and racking up some points here.
Coach Troy Sunderland's trying to get James Yonushonis to go back to the same move he did earlier, which was not that one, but that was a nice low single leg attack. The Penn State coach wanted him to cut him. He needs to get another takedown. Nice double leg. He's got to drive through him. That's the key to finish the double leg.
Two there for the takedown. No, waved off.
That would have closed the deal.
Now
a takedown here would make a major decision. He needs it. He's got 3 seconds to do it. He gets it.
And he gets it done. The Nittany Lion bench liking that. Their wrestler, James Yonushonis, coming through with a major decision at 174, giving the Lions some life.
That's a huge win for James Yonushonis. A major decision against Iowa. That's got to be a dream come true for the local boy.
Well, Penn State needed some bonus points, and the sophomore really stepping it up in the third.
He did. Short time left on the clock. He needed this takedown at the end of the match, and he got it on the edge, kept his feet in. James Yonushonis with a 2-point takedown for the major decision over Iowa.
Certainly a character builder win for the Nittany Lion wrestler and for the team as they cut into Iowa's lead. Coming up, 184, the featured bout of the night, Bradley versus Bradley. They'll do it again, and they'll do it next right here on CSTV.
Welcome to the new League of Superheroes. Welcome to Real Pro Wrestling. Real Pro Wrestling will air on PAX TV Sundays, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, March 27th through May 15th, and on Fox Sports Net, Wednesdays, 3 Eastern, on TV for 9 weeks straight.
The fan sitting here switched his car insurance from Geico to Allstate and saved $318 a year. This one switched from Progressive and saved $476. This one switched from State Farm and saved $214. Just 3 of the 1 million drivers who've switched to Allstate. Out to save America some money. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
And tomorrow it's an NCAA basketball on CSTV doubleheader. We start things off at 1 Eastern as Colgate super freshman guard Kyle Romer takes on Patriot League rival Lafayette. Then at 3, it's an America East showdown between Binghamton and Maine. Doubleheader of hoops tomorrow beginning at 1 here on CSTV. Wrestling at Penn State in the featured bout of the night. Bradley versus Bradley, and Penn State needs Eric Bradley to come through here, trailing Iowa 20-10 as we head to 184. There's a look at Eric Bradley, Jr. out of Claystone, New Hampshire. You saw him featured during the breakaway at the Fieldhouse, overcoming some injuries to come back and be a Big Ten champion. He'll take on his name and wrestling nemesis, Paul Bradley, Jr. from Iowa. These guys have met 4 times before. Eric of Penn State is 3-1 against Paul of Iowa. Eric Bradley beat Paul Bradley to win the Big Ten title last year. But this year, Paul Bradley beat Eric earlier this season 4-3 at Midlands. We'll try to track the Bradleys by team and first names. Paul of Iowa with a record of 11-4 this season. And Eric Bradley in the blue of Penn State coming in with a record of 19-2. And Ken, these guys really don't like each other, to put it boldly, and they usually get battled and bloodied at times.
Yes, this is a great rivalry between 2 physical wrestlers. There's Bradley from Iowa going at it. He's a little more go-getter type. Eric Bradley from Penn State's a little more explosive. So we'll see if the tenacious Bradley from Iowa can overcome the explosive Bradley from Penn State. It'll be a barn burner.
Eric Bradley, again, the Big Ten champ from Penn State. Paul Bradley, 2nd at the Big Ten last year, 4th at the NCAAs for the Iowa wrestler. When you get into these bigger weights, you will see these guys working up top a lot and really bumping and banging. You see both the wrestlers, at least Eric right now with his head wrapped up. Paul Bradley, for that fact, has it too. Both these guys have a propensity to cut open their foreheads. You see they're already ready for it with the wraps ahead of time.
Yeah, they're both warriors. And in wrestling, you need to lead with your head. You need to keep your head in front of you. If your head's back, that means your legs are open. So at the heavier weight classes, there's not as many shots, so there's a lot of pushing, shoving, and results in some heads butting. Not literally smashing each other, but you're just pushing and shoving, and you're in there getting after it, and that's what you're seeing right here. What needs to happen is one of these guys needs to get some motion and create a good shot. They both really do have very good shots. When they wrestle other opponents, they really dominate people, but against each other, they are very defensive and shut each other down.
Going through, talking to Coach Zaleski, as you see Eric Bradley with a nice shot there, and now a stoppage, and he's got blood already. We figured this would happen as these 2 guys really bang with the faces up top. Paul Bradley of Iowa going to get some work here done by the Iowa training staff. But in talking with Coach Zaleski, I asked him, you know, when these guys have seen each other so many times, do you try to change up your offense a little bit? And he said, nah, I'd rather these guys stick with what they work with, stick with what you know you can score on. Is that what you would do when you've wrestled a guy numerous times, work with what you know you can get done?
Personally, for me, as a tactician, I'd try to change it up a little bit. I mean, I'd like to use my best stuff, but I'd study video and try to come up with something a little different, surprising, and at least some different setups. I mean, sure, you can stick with what you're good at, and that's important, and you need to do that, but you also have to come up with other ways to score.
Well, these two guys are used to each other and probably used to the stoppages, so they came prepared tonight, pre-wrapped as they headed to the mat, expecting a little blood to be shed, and the Rec Hall crowd, astute wrestling fans that they are, know the history between these guys and are ready for more of a war at 184.
Yeah, Eric Bradley from Penn State is letting Bradley from Iowa control the ties too much. Paul Bradley from Iowa is a brawler. He likes to grab and snap. Eric Bradley from Penn State truly is quicker, a little more explosive. If he can create some motion and get some good offense going, he'd be set. But right now, Paul Bradley is indeed controlling the tempo.
Usually fairly low scoring when these guys get together. And is that the case so far? Zip, zip here. Latter stages of the first.
Yep, as expected. Eric Bradley has an explosive high crest with the right leg. We'll be interested to see if he can get one in this match. This match might come down to one takedown to none. They got to create angles. That would be the goal. Not just pushing straight on, but to create some angles. That's how you get a good leg attack. If you just dive straight in, you give up go behind. So you got to work setups, work the arms, work the head, create angles.
So both these guys straining for control up top. Paul Bradley there with a little shot to the left hand, and no scoring so far. These two guys in the mix in the top 10 nationally. Greg Jones of West Virginia is such a force, and Ryan Glynn of Illinois has been wrestling solidly all year, including a win over over Paul Bradley earlier this year. But you can expect both the wrestlers you're watching now to be factors at the Big Tens and at the NCAAs in March.
Yep, they're definitely going to be factors. And here it looks like Eric Bradley from Penn State's going to get his escape. Paul Bradley from Iowa didn't try to hold him down that hard. Looking at the rankings, Jason, those top two guys, they're a little more agile and quick than these two athletes. Greg Jones from West Virginia University, explosive, quick as a cat, good double legs, good low singles. He's the favorite in the weight. Kurt Backus from Iowa State University, Cale Sanderson's alma mater, where Cale's an assistant coach and personally trains Kurt Backus. Kurt Backus is ranked number 2, and he's got a great inside trip, some great leg attacks, scrambles really well. These two Bradleys, they're in the top 6 or so, as we saw. They haven't quite cracked that upper echelon with their agility. Although, you know, Bradley, they go close with everybody. You know, Paul Bradley wrestled a close match, lost a 1-point match to Backus from Iowa State just a few weeks ago.
At this weight class, do you prefer strength or agility, or that combination of both? Because you're right at that point where the heavier weights, you start to get the bulkier guys.
I think most of the guys have strength. You know, if you lift hard in the weight room, you're going to be a strong big guy. So certainly if you can have the nimble athleticism of a Cale Sanderson or a Greg Jones, hey, take it and run. And we saw Greg Jones from West Virginia University, the #1 ranked guy who I mentioned earlier. He faced off against Bradley from Penn State here at Rec Hall about 3 weeks ago, and he took him down in the first 10 seconds. Just a good level change double. He's just quicker. These guys are pushers and shovers, but they get a lot of mileage out of it.
Here's a look at Eric Bradley's number, or numbers and letters in this case, as we see he's a 2-time high school national champion. And again, won a collegiate boxing championship during time off from his wrestling career at Penn State. Had some fractures in his back, was told by doctors he'd never wrestle again. The fractures fused, they healed, allowing him to come back to wrestling, and he capped that last year with a Big Ten championship and looking for bigger things here in this season. Again, like the 149-pounder for Penn State, James Woodall, who's been lost for the season with an ACL, Bradley of Penn State will petition for a 6th medical year. It's not official that he'll get it right now, but they think that he'll get it. They list him as a junior. They expect him to be back here for another season, but they will have Woodall and Eric Bradley walk with the seniors on senior day, just in case they don't get that crowd recognition from the fans here at Penn State.
Because academically they are seniors. They've both done well in school. They've plugged away, and hopefully they will get that extra year, and deservedly so in both cases. Eric Bradley missed the whole year. It's almost just a formality to get that extra year because he truly was out of commission and thought his career was over. He's an amazing success story.
Now here we are, just an escape so far for Eric Bradley. As you see, Iowa leads 20-10. Penn State desperately needs another win here, because if Iowa can salt this one away, it would close out and seal the win in this dual meet. So the onus on Eric Bradley to hold on against his arch rival Paul Bradley of Iowa. Again, the Penn State wrestler leads 1-0 in this crucial bout at 184 as we go to the third period.
He's not even going to try to ride him. He's not even going to make an effort. I would think he would try to wear him down a little bit and perhaps get a minute riding time to win the match, but he's choosing not to. He's decided this guy is too big and strong. Whoa, now the pace is picking up, Jason. They got that injury time. There's a minute 45 to go in the match. It's almost like sudden death here. A takedown is going to win this, and as I mentioned earlier, it might come down to a one takedown match. It's going to, or a double overtime.
Certainly seems like it will, considering their history.
I think the rest break is to Eric Bradley's advantage. Paul Bradley is really a goer. He wins a lot of matches at the end. He's come from behind. Not that Eric Bradley's not a goer too, but Paul Bradley's a pusher, shove, rewards you down. The fact that he keeps bleeding is giving Eric Bradley a chance to catch his breath. And I'm telling you, Eric Bradley has the potential, the ability to explode on that one attack. We haven't seen it yet, though.
See the Penn State staff here cleaning the blood off the mat, and these guys ready to go after it again. And the crowd here at Penn State trying to get energized. They know the importance of this bout in the overall dual meet. Penn State needs to have it to stay in the thick of things.
Yeah, Penn State needs to win out to get back in the match. That was a nice shrug. He tried to shrug it by and catch a single leg. Now Eric Bradley's opening up. That's two good attacks by Eric Bradley, but Paul Bradley was going to have none of it. He shut both of them down pretty easily.
Entering the final minute here, Bradley versus Bradley. Once again, close quarters, low scoring, great collegiate wrestling.
Yeah, nice snap down, nice shot. That's good stuff. Eric Bradley with the near go behind. He's almost got him. He's got him. The crowd in Rec Hall is going crazy, Jason.
Great takedown maneuver by Eric Bradley. Penn State leading here, trying to stay alive in this dual meet. Boy, can it look like it devastated there by Paul Bradley. He was able to work around that and dive in for the deuce.
There with no setup, Eric Bradley did a good athletic job of spinning behind him. Paul Bradley almost flurried out of it, but here's the sprawl. He goes for the go behind, then Paul Bradley reacts really well. But Eric Bradley, with his second effort, he took the far hip and arm and pulled him down and got his takedown.
You talked about it. Speed beats strength in that scenario. He was able to elude Paul Bradley, get around, and Eric Bradley taking a 3-2 lead. He did cut him loose right before the whistle, giving up the escape, but I'm sure he would rather work from the neutral position right now against Paul Bradley.
Now again, I should have held him down some. Paul Bradley's going to go throw the kitchen sink at him. This could be an exciting 20 seconds. Jason, folks at home, enjoy this because Paul Bradley is going to come after him. He's going to push and shove. He's going to take a double leg and dive in there. There he goes. Eric Bradley is shutting him down. It doesn't look like Paul Bradley's going to get it going. Eric Bradley has more in the tank right now.
He's tying it up, holding him off. Ooh, a shot by Paul Bradley in the late seconds. Eric Bradley in denial mode. And the Penn State Bradley, the better Bradley this time around. Eric beats Paul, and Penn State gets closer in the duel.
Wow, what an exciting duel meet we have here. 20-13 with 2 matches to go. Iowa's winning by 7.
2 must-wins for Penn State at 174 and 184. The Nittany Lions come through.
What an exciting ending to a big match. There's the bad shot too far away. Got extended, a short drag. Bradley countered it, but Bradley from Iowa countered it, but Eric Bradley from Penn State got it done.
Oh, Eric Bradley joins us right now. And Eric, when you wrestle a guy like this, you've seen a lot. How patient do you have to be? It seems like you guys are only going to get 1 or 2 good shots at each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating at times just because, you know, he knows basically all the things that I do well, and I know most of the stuff he does well, so it gets a little difficult, you know, to wrestle him.
Hey, Eric, that was a great performance out there. You got to go behind. Were you looking for a leg attack during the course of the third period?
Yeah, I was. I don't know. He's like real defensive. He's tough in there, so I figured I'd wear on him a little bit and then start looking for it. And I was like faking some shots. I probably should have, you know, looking back, I would have rather like just, you know, committed to one of them more because I felt like they were there. But yeah, he just took a shot and I was able to spin behind. So,
Eric, you feel like you guys got a little momentum right now?
Yeah, I definitely feel like the team's got momentum. Phil's been on an amazing roll right now, so I think we have the potential to pull off this dual meet and beat Iowa, which would be fantastic.
All right, congratulations, Eric Bradley, the winner at 184, and Penn State stays alive in the dual meet. Coming up at 197, can the Nittany Lions pull even closer? That guy would love that. More of Iowa and Penn State next.
We are the men and women of the United States Army Reserve. We are regular people who share our time serving our country and our communities. Our training makes us stronger as soldiers and as citizens who stand ready.
To find out how you can serve your country in the Army Reserve, call 1-888-624-ARMY for this free DVD and get a free sports watch. Stand ready in the Army Reserve.
To protect you from taste loss, take the taste challenge. Question 1. What should a real light beer look like?
Like beer?
That's right. Miller Lite has a rich golden color. Question 2. What should a real light beer taste like?
Like beer.
Correct. Miller Lite has a satisfying great taste. And finally, how do you fight taste loss?
With antibiotics?
No. Drink a great tasting Miller Lite with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs. Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com.
Thanks.
Miller. Good call.
Tomorrow at 8, the premiere of the CSTV original production, Pure Virginia Tech. A detailed look at the Virginia Tech men's basketball team getting prepared for life in the ACC, including that first conference matchup against Roy Williams and the Tar Heels of North Carolina. Pure Virginia Tech tomorrow at 8 on CSTV. Penn State with some life, including a crucial win by Eric Bradley over Paul Bradley of Iowa at 184 pounds.
Beautiful go-behind takedown. Pulls the hip and arm, gets the takedown to win the match and make this match a close one coming down to the home stretch.
20-13 in favor of the Hawkeyes, but Penn State riding those two back-to-back wins at 174 and 184. Still alive, but another must-win for Penn State right now at 197. Maybe the hottest Nittany Lion wrestler, Phil Davis, out of Harrisburg, PA, 27-4 on the season, taking on Adam Fellers, Jr. from Fort Dodge, Iowa.
Yep, and this is a key match for Penn State to get bonus points. If they're going to win this duel, they need to do more than just win the last two matches. They need bonus points here.
Whistle here, and they'll reset them in the middle.
Phil Davis is very tough on top. He's got a great cradle. He's solid on his feet, but nothing flashy typically. Now they're in the over-under position. Let's see if either athlete's brave enough to try a throw. Neither were. They both got out of there. Neither one was confident in there. That's an important position. Not enough wrestlers have technique from there.
The Fellers been splitting time with Dane Pape for Iowa at this weight class at 197.
Definitely the weak spot for the Hawkeyes, Jason. They're struggling to find the best athlete to get in that position now.
Certainly a guy in the mix, and Davis has really elevated himself here as Fellers gets in on a shot. Davis moving up in the rankings, now 13th in the nation, was 5-0 at the national duels, and then has had major wins against Indiana and Purdue. And they described his style as scrambling, unorthodox, and certainly see that. The crowd here at Rec Hall has sort of fallen in love with this kid because it looks like disaster may happen at any moment, and then he can scramble out of it and get in good positions.
Yep, he's a good athlete. He keeps wrestling and flurrying, and again, it comes back to being tough on top and wearing people down. Right now, you've seen the Iowa wrestler Adam Fellers almost get a takedown, but Davis was able to, elude him, scramble out of it. 2 minutes in the match, no takedowns. Kind of like the Bradley against Bradley battle, except not the hand fight and battle. These guys aren't quite as physical as the Bradleys were. Oh, he's pulling him in. Look, he's got the wrist. He's pulling him. There's the shot. He waited too long. He needed to take the shot sooner. We're in the over-under again. Davis is thinking throw, maybe. And it doesn't look like he has the confidence to really go after it. They're both like, I don't know if I want to be there. You don't want to relax on the edge like he just did. But Davis can pull him in. He can score. He needs to jerk that leg hard. He's got to pull. He's got to keep 1 foot in. He's got to at least keep 1 foot in. Oh, my.
Fellers able to get and work his way out of bounds, and a call goes against Penn State.
Oh, he got his foot off the mat. Wow, that was an important scramble right there. Davis would have liked to have finished that technique. I like the new rule with letting him wrestle through the mat. It used to be that he had to have 2 feet in, Jason. If 1 foot 1 foot went out of bounds, they'd stop the match. But now you get to keep one in. Ooh, nice scramble over under again.
Phil Davis, a junior national freestyle finalist. Working there on top.
You know, I think he's got some techniques in this position. Matter of fact, I know he does, but he's just a little bit apprehensive about using it because it's a risky position. And he's not really in a situation where he can take risks. He's the favorite. For Davis to get a major decision, he needs to get on top. He needs to wear his point down. He needs to get a cradle. Maybe even a pin.
Well, Penn State right now, even if they win the final 2 matches straight up, they'd be a point short. So they need somebody to get some bonus points here. And it looks like Davis would be the guy.
Yeah, he's the main candidate there because heavyweight's going to be a toss-up, close match, conflict of styles. I don't expect, you know, bonus points there for the Penn State wrestler. So Davis is going to need to move on bottom, and he'll probably get away here. Looks like he's going to get away easily. And I look for him to open up a little bit more. The Iowa wrestler took a shot. He doesn't look like he's going to be able to score on Davis. Davis has shut his stuff down, but Davis hasn't got his own offense going. So he's got the wrist control there. That's important. Now he's got the underhook. He's getting some good control ties, but he needs to take a control tie and use it to score. And there's the opportunity there.
Gets in, cuts down the leg, and ring up the 2.
Yeah, you see Jason, he pulled the elbow, he cleared the arm, got to a single leg, did a nice job bringing it back to the feet. That was really very good technique.
Penn State picking up a 3-0 lead in this crucial match at 197.
This is what I told you about right here now. He's got a great cradle. He keeps the pressure on. He's trying to hook the back leg. He's got it hooked. Now he'll try to do a cross space with his right arm. The good old cross space cradle. Every junior high school wrestler needs to know a cross space cradle, but few of them can execute it as consistently as Philip Davis can.
Feller's trying to extricate himself right now.
He's not doing a very good job. He's getting held down. He's struggling there. He's stalling on bottom. If he stays there, he's going to be in trouble. If Davis can get a tight cross face, which he hasn't been able to do yet, he's trying to get his right arm across the face and trap the forearm.
See Davis there working underneath. That's where the real battle is, with the wrist and the hand underneath.
And it's all about hand control. Right now, Iowa's stalling. He's going to get called for stalling pretty soon, I think, because Phil Davis from Penn State is off to the side. He's working hard to turn, and Adam Fellers from Iowa is not moving. I expect the ref to call him for stalling soon. The crowd sure doesn't want it.
Saw Davis sneak a peek at the clock as we track under 25 seconds left here in the second period. Jim Zaleski shouting out instructions to Adam Fellers right now.
I'm shocked that he hasn't been called for stalling. Zaleski from Iowa is yelling at his athlete to move and fight, and he's not. Penn State coach Troy Sunderland and assistant coach Dave Harder disgusted that they're allowing the Iowa wrestler to lay there, but on the other hand, Phil Davis hasn't shown enough offense either. He hasn't really gone after it to turn him. He's mostly just ridden hard.
Well, Davis leads 3-0 as we enter the final period, but Penn State needs to pick up some bonus points somewhere, either here or at heavyweight.
Yeah, the Iowa wrestler chose neutral. He did not want to go back underneath, but I look for Phil Davis to score. Let's see if he can win this scramble here. The Iowa wrestler took a shot. Phil Davis almost got 2 there. If he can hook the back leg, he's almost got a near side cradle too. This is a classic Wade Schallis position. A Pennsylvania legend used to be great with that cradle counter. Phil Davis back on top. Yeah. Look at that. Even though Fellers took a shot, it wasn't a shot to score. It was a shot, and he stopped, and Davis capitalized.
And he picks up 2 for the takedown. 5-0 lead. He's got riding time locked up, so essentially it's 6-0, but would still need to come up with 2 more points to take him into bonus territory in a major decision.
Yeah, I think I'd cut him loose here. The Iowa wrestler stalling. They're trying to decide. The coaches agreed. Yep. Dave Hart and Troy Center told him to push him away.
Cut him loose and play the takedown game
here. Push him out of bounds here and get a fresh start. He's wasting time, and he's done. Do we see a cheap shot? It's close. I don't think he's going to call it. He's just giving a little warning there, Jason. The Iowa coaches want him to snap him down. They want Adam Fellers to snap Davis down. Davis needs to get a good leg attack here. Minute to go. 1 minute a match. Philip Davis knee. There's the stalling call. Finally.
There's a warning for the first one. Next one will be worth a point.
Yeah, he really should have called it sooner, I felt. But hey, maybe he'll make up for it here as Davis goes after him in the final 53 seconds.
Fellers of Iowa with a great maneuver there.
Snap down. He did exactly what the coaches told him, but he didn't finish it. He's not shown the ability to finish his takedowns. and this puts him in danger to get major decision. If Philip Davis can get another leg attack going and get on top and get a stalling one, that's what it would take, Jason. A takedown and a stalling call.
Fellers doing a scintillating job right now of thwarting most of Davis's efforts. Here's a look at the team score. Iowa up 20-13, but the Hawkeyes have had more bonus points. Davis, though, gets the 2 before they go out of bounds, so it's now 7-1. 18 seconds left.
Big decision here, Jason. They got to decide if they're going to turn him or cut him. They've decided to cut him. Dave Harkey, the coach of Penn State, tells him to push him away. He's got 18 seconds to score. This is a big deal here. Philip Davis looks for confirmation. He's cautioned. He's catching his breath now. To get a major decision, you got to win by 8. He needs another takedown right here.
So he cuts him loose. He's got riding time. A takedown gets Penn State a major decision, and it's got to happen for the Lions in 10 seconds.
He's in. Nope, he's not going to get it.
One more chance, and it looks like time will run out. Iowa is going to lose the bout, but essentially win the battle, not giving up any more than just the 3 points for the victory. Penn State gets the win. Davis notching his 28th victory of the season, but it's only 3 points for the regular decision for the Nittany Lions.
Wow, what an exciting ending here. Davis went in, trying to get a score right here, got in, but was unable to finish, and that would have been a critical takedown. Philip Davis just needs to improve on his feet, and he'll be able to take his game to the next level.
So we go down to the final bout of the evening. It'll be at heavyweight, and the fans here at Penn State need some bonus points in some form from Joel Edwards against 8th-ranked Matt Fields. Find out next.
Welcome to the new League of Superheroes. Welcome to Real Pro Wrestling. Real Pro Wrestling will air on PAX TV Sundays, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, March 27th through May 15th, and on Fox Sports Net, Wednesdays, 3 Eastern, on TV for 9 weeks straight.
.1 seconds left. He throws it down the lane there. And grabs it just down. Fakes left. Shots up.
Relive your glory days in the Allstate Alumni 3-on-3 Classic. Sign up at allstate3on3.com. That's allstate3on3.com.
The Nittany Lion loving life as Penn State gets back in it against Iowa. 2 nationally ranked teams, 2 Big Ten powers coming down to the final bout of the night at heavyweight to decide it. Penn State will trot out Joel Edwards against 8th-ranked Matt Fields of Iowa. The advantage here to the Hawkeyes because Edwards, normally a wrestler at 197 pounds, but he's been bumped up to heavyweight because Josh Walker, the senior from Lancaster, is out with a herniated disc right now. So Edwards bumped up a week or so ago and getting the call at heavyweight.
Right, and it's not just an immediate bump up, it's kind of been in the cards. As Philip Davis was proving himself as a strong 197-pounder, they were making this move.
And there you see the info from Matt Fields. Another one of that talented crop of freshmen for the Hawkeyes, has progressed all season and 16 wins so far, ranked 8th in the nation. And Edwards, again, getting the unusual instructions from coaches to eat more.
Definitely unusual. In wrestling teaches you about discipline and controlling your weight. It teaches you to eat healthy and to control your weight so you can make weight. But when you get to be a heavyweight, which is 1 out of 10 guys on the team, you get to eat all you want. And Joel Edwards is taking those instructions to heart.
And they certainly, it's such a difference for some of these guys. They've been reminding him, hey, have you eaten? Are you going to go eat? Go ahead and eat. Yeah. So Edwards has been slowly bumping up his weight, and just like cutting it, you really can't go up too fast. So he's now about up to the 216, 218 range and gaining a few pounds every week to try to bulk himself up against some of the behemoths that we will see across the country the rest of the season.
And he's big enough to do it at heavyweight. One of Penn State's great heavyweights, Kerry McCoy from Long Island, New York, a stud 190-pounder his first year of college, and then he decided to redshirt and get healthy and get strong, and he ended up becoming a 2-time NCAA champion and 2-time Olympian heavyweight. He let his body grow and grow into his body, and maybe that'll be what happens to Joel Edwards.
Edwards with a record of 20-9 is, again, saw a lot of time earlier in the season at 197, especially when Davis was a bit banged up. But getting the call at heavyweight, we've used that speed versus size category before. Can that be something we can hang our hat on to watch these guys here?
I'll tell you what, it's going to be tricky because Edwards is so much smaller. I mean, Matt Fields is one big, strong Iowa farm boy, and he's going to be hard to move. Joel Edwards' best chance is going to be on top, to get on top of him and get something going, or possibly from the bottom. Joel Edwards is kind of funky on bottom. I don't look for Joel Edwards to win the takedown battle. I mean, he may get a takedown, but to win a battle, and he needs a major decision to win. He's going to have to score some back points.
Yeah, certainly. Fields could lose the bout and still win the dual meet for Iowa. Penn State needs bonus points here. Major, a tech fall, or a pin, and that would get it done for Penn State. But with the team score differential being 4 points, Penn State has got to get some bonus points, so you don't expect Fields to get too crazy in this bout.
No, he's conservative as it is. He's a heavyweight, he's a freshman, so he's usually pretty basic. I mean, he's aggressive. He's a dominating Iowa high school heavyweight. He's a junior national champion. But even at the heavyweight level, it's hard to run up the points. So, like I said, it's for Penn State to win this dual meet, Joel Edwards will have to score top position, will have to get back points. And here's where we go. We're going to see some mat wrestling now.
And the first period, not a lot of offense handy, no points. Zip between Joel Edwards of Penn State, Matt Fields of Iowa at heavyweight to decide this Big Ten dual meet. Hawkeyes haven't lost 3 dual meets in a row since 1966-67 season, and they certainly don't want to do that here tonight. And the Hawkeyes with that string of 4 straight wins in the midpoint of the match, putting them out to the lead. Penn State has responded with 3 straight wins, then it all comes down to heavyweight.
Indeed it has, and Joel Edwards is one small heavyweight trying to hold down one huge heavyweight in Matt Fields. He's struggling. And Matt Fields has got to get some hand control. Joel Edwards has got to get him to the mat. There we go, trying to lift him.
You can see the weight differential there. It's such a difference.
That was not a good tactic there to let go and grab a leg. It's basically a stall tactic. Slow things down, maybe get a fresh start, but he needs to get back points. Joel Edwards from Penn State needs back points for Penn State University to win this dual meet over the Hawkeyes from Iowa. Oh, he's got the elbow hook. See, he's trying something. Oh.
Stalemate called. There you see Troy Sunderland, the assistants on the bench, trying to find some magic words to help the smaller heavyweight Edwards against the bulkier man Fields here in the deciding match.
Oh, that's an aggressive maneuver. He threw the leg in with the parallel leg ride. He's got a power half. He's trying to wear him down. Joel Edwards is usually at 197 very, very good on top. But it's a big difference when you weigh 218 and the other guy is 40 pounds bigger than you.
Well, Edwards trying to come up with some magic here, and Fields content to sort of ride things out and not let things get too crazy.
And that's that cross arm. He's got the cross arm. That move was made famous by Mark Trella from the University of Michigan, a 3-time NCAA champion from Michigan in the 70s. And that move is stuck around for 30 years, but it didn't work that time.
And Fields able to get the reversal and pick up the 2.
And now Joel Edwards got to move. He's got to get moving. He's not going to try. He's going to get mauled here by the bigger heavyweight for the last 10 seconds, it looks like. Oh, he's getting his hips up. Let's see if he rolls here. Oh!
Trying to get up and get out, and picks up a point for the escape.
Wow. I'm surprised Matt Fields let him out so easy. He actually let up. Maybe he's getting tired. Matt Fields from Iowa let up the pressure and allowed Joel Edwards from Penn State to escape.
Now here's a look at some of the heavyweights, and of course the #1 ranked guy, Steve Mocco, used to wear the Iowa colors before his off-season transfer to Oklahoma State, holds down the top spot nationally. Fields, you see, in the mix in the 8th spot, and right now he is the man of the moment for the Hawkeyes.
He sure is. He's a good young heavyweight, and in the man of the moment, he's going aggressively here. It'll be interesting to see if Penn State can come up with a reversal and get on top.
Been trying to work on Edwards, who picks up the escape. Nittany Lion fans loving it. but Edwards needs to do some magic and get some bonus points for the Nittany Lions. And at this point, he's got to be thinking in the category of, how do I get this guy that weighs 40 or 50 pounds more than me over and pin him?
Yeah, he needed to wear him out and do better on top. He didn't take full advantage of his opportunity on top, although it was a valiant effort because he's wrestling such a bigger opponent. 2-2 with riding time here, slightly in favor of Iowa. So if the match ends like this, Iowa would win. Penn State needs a takedown to win this match. Kind of nice situation here, Jason. You know, Joe Edwards, we don't have much to lose. I mean, he might try something wild. I don't know. You could try to throw him and get back to him. That's what he needs, but he's not gonna. Came out of position, gave up a good leg attack to Matt Fields.
Credit to Fields for jumping in there right off the whistle, attacking and getting in there and getting the two.
Definitely a good credit. It was a beautiful leg attack. Good level change.
Iowa up 20-16 here. Final minute of the final bout of the night. Iowa trying to salt away an important road victory in the Big Ten at Penn State after back-to-back dual meet losses.
Yeah, and it's looking salted because Matt Fields is putting the hammer down. He went aggressively after the double instead of stalling out the third period. Now he's riding hard, and Joe Edwards isn't moving very much. I'm surprised. I thought he would create some scrambles, but Iowa's finishing this match with an exclamation point here, and they're going to go up, and win by 23-16 here at the end.
Iowa needs some momentum to build as they get ready for the second half of the season. The Hawkeyes come into hallowed Rec Hall and get a hard-fought win against the Nittany Lions. Tack up the decision for Fields, and you wrap it up. It's a 23 win for Iowa, getting the Hawkeyes back on track in the Big Ten.
What a huge win for Iowa, coming off 2 losses. This is going to change the complex of their season. They're going to be able to go back home and build on this and probably peak at the end.
The young wrestlers from Iowa came into hostile territory, and a lot of those guys needed to be more aggressive, and they certainly were.
Indeed they were. They came and went after, and they got after it. Iowa set the tempo, was aggressive on their feet, and won the close matches.
Both these teams certainly building through the rest of the Big Ten schedule as they head out to the Big Ten championships later on this year, and will be at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. Once again, our final score, Iowa 23, Penn State 16. Ken Chertow and our entire CSTV crew, I'm Jason Knapp. For more, log on to collegesports.com, the ultimate destination for scores, news, highlights, and analysis. This has been a presentation of CSTV, College Sports Television, #1 in college sports. So long from State College, PA at Penn State University. Thanks for watching, everybody.